I just finished eating Shaggy Mane soup, a wild food that I harvested from my Michigan property. And thought I'd talk a little bit about the health benefits of Shaggy Manes. So they are a type of ink cap, but they are not the common ink cap. They are a fungi. Fungi belong to their own kingdom because they contain no chlorophyll. They secrete digestive enzymes into their food sources to absorb the products of digestion. And some fungi are nematophagous fungi, which means they digest tiny worms called nematodes that live in the soil. And Shaggy Manes are some of those fungi. They're nematophagous. And they also have a very distinctive annulus, which is the little ring that you sometimes see on the stem. They change very dramatically, and they have a second common name called lawyer's wigs, and that's because they get real shaggy as they progress. So they're able to actually break through old asphalt when they first start to grow, and that's pretty fascinating. And they within 24 hours after their first appearance, the enzymes will start to break down the chitin, providing strength to the cell walls and gills and cap, which eventually destroys the cells in these areas, which that is how they digest. It's called autodigestion, and they expose their successive layers of spores to air currents. So eventually, within 24 hours, they will start this process called autodigestion. So instead of just having their spores blow in the wind, they actually start to break down almost immediately. And eventually they complete a process called liquefaction. And in the meantime, they produce, and during this liquefaction process, they produce inky fluid. That's where they're in the family of ink caps. And so they, as far as medicinal uses of Shaggy Manes, every mushroom has a lot of vitamins and minerals and amazing health benefits that you don't find in other wild plants and other wild creatures. So in this case, they help with diabetes, and they also help with metabolic syndrome. But probably most interestingly, they are anti-tumor for breast cancer patients. And so breast cancer is the number one reported cancer in the world in women. So that's really amazing that it'll help shrink the tumors in breast cancer. And as a side note, when you boil it, it'll produce a green dye, which you can kind of see here in the form of the soup. I have a black spoon, so it's probably a little hard to see, but if you look at the edge, it's not actually black. It's like a dark green. So anyways, there's some information about Shaggy Manes, wild food I picked from my Michigan property that's for sale or lease.